Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Business Matters, the Broomfield Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Pat Monticelli. Thanks for being with us today. Part of what we do with these Business Matters podcasts is we do member spotlights. We take a good look at some of our Broomfield Chamber of Commerce members, what they're doing in the community, and recently, how they're managing the COVID-19 situation. I'm honored to have with me today from Spartan College, Nicholas Brown, who's the campus president, and Jeremy Cooper, who's the director of admissions. Thanks for being here today, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
So let's jump right in. Nicholas, I'm going to aim this one at you first. Give us the appropriate for an aviation school. Give us the 30,000-foot view of what Spartan College does.
So Spartan College is an aviation technical college. We specialize in the Broomfield campus on airframe and power plant mechanic training under Part 147 with the FAA. And then we also train aviation electronics technicians, which essentially work on the electronics for the aircraft. Also, those skill sets do transfer from both programs to the aerospace industry. And as I'm sure you're probably aware, Pat, we have a number of aerospace employers here within the Colorado market. So it allows our students to get a little bit of different opportunities outside of just your traditional aviation, whether it's commercial airlines, general aviation, corporate aviation. They can still get into some of the fun, exciting things about the new frontier with space, working for Sierra Nevada, Lockheed Martin, and Ball Aerospace.
And we had the opportunity as the Chamber of Commerce to kind of explore your space about a year ago when we held one of our membership appreciation events there. It really is a really nice campus, and you don't really kind of get the feel for it for how much room you've got until you get inside there. And I'll throw this out to either one of you. What do you see as far as student population? Is it a growing campus? Are you happy with how things are going from a student perspective?
Yeah, Pat, I'll take that one. Absolutely, we definitely do. The demand and the need in the industry from both the aviation side and also the aerospace side that Nick just touched on is ever growing, and also the population. It's a translation straight into our students wanting to get into those jobs, getting into those fields. So we've with COVID been able to transition and meet that demand on a hybrid model. So even though COVID's got us locked down in our homes and safer at home, we're still meeting the demand of both those industries that are asking of our students into a online hybrid model where they're able to still continue their coursework and begin classes. And we've noticed an uptick and a year-over-year growth in population based off of the demand in both those industries.
And I wanted to talk about that. You know, as you mentioned, there seems to be a demand. So are you seeing more increased students because of a demand in your sector?
Yeah, we certainly are. It's, these jobs, and these are not just jobs, I should say, these are careers, right? And a lot of our student populations are seeing the demand for it, and they're wanting to get into these fields, right? It's a shorter program, so it's 20 months long. It's not a 4 or 5 year long program, which is an advantage for a lot of our students. Not only that, but we're also seeing a lot of active and veteran military students wanting to apply to us. In fact, 46% of our population is military. So they're learning these skills and they're learning these abilities in the military, and they're trying to translate that. How do I, take those skills I learned in the military, take them to a civilian life? And it's an easy transition for these individuals. It's something they like, something they enjoy. And then, of course, with the organizations like Nick mentioned, Ball, Lockheed, Sierra Nevada, those are pretty promising careers, and they're up for grabs. And they're, even with COVID-19 taking place, they're hiring. I think right now, Nick can help maybe back this up, but I think 400 some possible employees at Lockheed Martin. So the demand hopefully is showing out there in the population and the public.
And Nick, I wanted to ask you this. As the campus president, what is your goal for your campus? I mean, at the end of the day, what are you hoping that Spartan not only provides for your students, but for the community as well?
Well, our number one goal is, and this mentality shared across the board with all of our management team at the campus, is a student-first focus. Our main goal each year is to grow graduates year over year. So we work diligently to ensure that we remove any obstacles that are in a student's way to get to success. The team here pulled off a huge victory in my eyes in regards to transitioning to online, or this hybrid synchronous environment where our instructors are actually able to utilize Zoom, such as we're doing right now for this interview, and then also house all of our curriculum and progressive exams, any assessment that's needed within Canvas. And it is a great format that allows us to still adhere to the requirements that we have to adhere to for the FAA under Part 147, where they actually have that one-on-one instruction with a faculty member, again, not in person. It's over the video with Zoom, but it does give us that flexibility where we can still help our students progress, which has been a big thing for me personally, and I know for a lot of my staff members, is that they have that ability to get through their program and hopefully make up some ground here with the recent opening or downgrade, I guess, into phase 2, to where we're actually able to bring students back into the campus and do labs while adhering to the social distancing protocols that our governor and the state have established for us.
And that's my next question. I think you've done a great job of explaining how you've been able to transition to an online model. And obviously, it's something that any education environment is having to go through. Now that we're getting back into a phased-in reopening, and you're allowed to start seeing students again, what does that look like for Spartan? How are you going about, making that transition back to at least a partial in-person learning environment?
A lot of conversations with the state Department of Education, higher education, working with them closely to ensure that we're communicating effectively, giving them the details of our plan to bring students back, and also as well reaching out to the City and County of Broomfield's Department of Public Health. Oliver and Deb over there have been a godsend in all of this. It's great to have that communication back and forth. It's open, and they're very considerate in regards to what we're trying to do to ensure that our students actually get to their graduation requirements with those lab hours. So what that has done for us is allowed us to reopen on a limited basis. We have 2 shifts running throughout the week. A shift that begins at 8 a.m. till noon, and then another one from 4 until 7, or 3 to 7, I'm sorry. Students can come in based on if they're currently working or if they have their scheduled Zoom calls in the morning or afternoon. They can then come in the differing shift and make up those lab requirements. We do have a nurse on site who's actually there doing everything that's required to ensure that we're safe. Temperatures are being checked, questions are being asked, and we're also following the HIPAA requirements by having this nurse in place to ensure that everybody's safety is obviously intact. That's the big thing, is we don't want to have another outbreak at the campus. So we do have very good protocols in place to ensure the safety of others. And it's actually going quite well. A lot of the students are really happy. We actually have our first grads that were scheduled to graduate in April finishing up today. So we're kind of working through the details on how we're going to present diplomas next week. But we're excited about this. This is what we're all here for. And it's great that these students can actually get into that next stage of their life with getting a career started.
And let's talk a little bit about students at Spartan. If for someone that's thinking about moving into or considering Spartan College as a education path, career path, what kind of person makes a great student for Spartan?
I'll go ahead and take that one, Pat. It's a great question. Based off of our past students and our current students, we're seeing a lot of individuals that are coming into this industry, in this field, a lot of do-it-yourself type of individuals, right? Either in a construction or an auto mechanic background, or just even for a hobbyist, right? Individuals that like to see that hard work put in, and then like to see an end result at the end of the day. The individuals that are probably very hands-on learning, very visual learners. Those are the folks that we're seeing. And then also just a pure passion for either aerospace or aviation, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to work on something big and cool like a big old airplane like a 787, or who wouldn't want to work on some high-tech device, that satellite that Lockheed's shooting up in the air, or Ball Aerospace. So we're seeing those type of students are the ones that we're attracting, that have that passion and joy and want to be on the front lines of the technology, especially with organizations like Ball Aerospace or Lockheed and Sierra Nevada that are developing stuff for our country and that are going to have huge impacts all over the world. So that's the type of kind of background and demographic I would say that most of our students.
And let's talk a minute about your relationship with the business community. Obviously, you're members of the Broomfield Chamber of Commerce. Tell me a little bit about why you've made that decision to be chamber members, and what drives you to give to the community like that.
It's a great question. So we've been members for a few years now, and we found that a lot of the companies that we do work with, such as Ball Aerospace and other employers on a smaller scale, are part of actually the Chamber of Commerce in their local communities. And we've, through our program advisory committee meetings, have had good conversations with those employers on the reasons why that's a benefit. In addition to that, it's supporting those around us from a socioeconomic impact. We're really trying to get our students to graduate and stay within the community as much as possible. Not always the case. There are jobs that are really nice throughout the world that our students can go and chase. But one of the big things is kind of paying it back to those that are around us and supporting us from a community standpoint. We've, as you mentioned before, Pat, held some events for the Broomfield Chamber. We go and participate. We have a few of our academic and staff members that are part of the Chamber through different sub-organizations within the Chamber. And it really allows us to carry our message forward about the good things that we're doing for the students and the community around us.
And we certainly appreciate having you as members and everything that you bring to the community. If people want to know more about Spartan College, how to enroll, how to get information, what's the best course of action? How do they reach out to you and start that process?
Yeah, great question. We certainly want that to happen, Pat. So I would say a couple ways, right? One, best is call us here on the campus, 303-424-2303, and I'm sure you can probably provide that into a link. But also they can visit us on our website. In fact, we just had a brand new branding initiative take place. So we have a brand new, nice website. It's all updated, very clear, very concise. And individuals can go on there. They can get all the information they need as well. And then if they have further questions, I encourage them to please reach out to us, and we'll definitely make sure we get in touch with them and talk to them about their further opportunities and discuss what it entails to go here at Spartan College.
And to kind of touch base a little bit on what Jeremy just said, in light of the environment that we're in, and Pat, I know you can probably agree with this after being on site, you really got to come and take a tour. Jeremy and his team have done a good job on setting up a virtual tour via Zoom so that individuals can still kind of see what we do there at the campus. Now, again, it's not as impactful as being there and touching it and seeing it, but eventually, I think as some of the COVID pandemic starts to subside, that may open up opportunities then for people to come in and be a part of what we do.
Fantastic. Nicholas, Jeremy, I appreciate you being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And you can find more of our Business Matters podcast on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look up Broomfield Chamber of Commerce. You can also find more information about our videos, also information about COVID-19 related resources and everything you need to know about the Chamber at broomfieldchamber.com. And you can join our Facebook group at Broomfield Area Business Strong on Facebook. Just look up that name. You can join that group. That'll give you a lot of information about businesses that are still open during the COVID-19 slow reopenings and transitions. And it will give you more information again about resources regarding the COVID-19 situation. We'll see you again next time on Business Matters. I'm Pat Monticelli.